After completing his PhD at Caltech, he held postdoctoral and research science positions at the University of Cambridge and the Cambridge Medical Research Council Centre. His research, which examines the functional and structural constraints on the evolution of proteins and protein systems, has been featured in many scientific journals, including the Journal of Molecular Biology, the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, Biocomplexity, and Nature, and in such books as Signature in the Cell and Darwin's Doubt by Stephen Meyer, and Life's Solution by Simon Conway Morris. Delighted to be speaking to you this morning. So let's get into it.
Okay.
This book has to be one of the favorite books on this particular topic, I think. And for me, the reason that is the case is because you bring it for the laity. You bring it for the commoner. It's something I can speak to someone at a pedestrian level, or we can take it much higher. It builds a very strong base. So what inspired you to write this book?
Well, let's see. It was multiple years in the making, even the inspiration, and then it was like a year and a half to actually write it. And as you know, and as I say in the book, I've been involved in laboratory technical research, offering a critical or attempting a critical analysis of whether Darwinism works at the molecular level, and publishing papers along the way. And I reached a point where I felt like we had reached a conclusion from the laboratory work and the mathematical modeling. And then I had this opportunity to write a book for, and this came through my friendship with Stephen Meyer, who's written books with HarperCollins. And since we're close colleagues, an opportunity landed on my lap to offer a proposal. And when that was granted, and now I can spend some time rolling up my sleeves and writing a book, I started to think about what should this book be. And on the one hand, I could go with a sort of distillation or a non-technical translation of technical work, but I felt as though that would be playing into this myth that on this most crucial of questions, are we cosmic accidents or are we the products of a personal intelligent designer, that the myth is that is a technical question for experts to answer, and that non-experts cannot answer it because they're not qualified. And I felt like if I am only appealing to expert peer-reviewed evidence and saying, here's what I found, then I'm playing into this ping pong match where people read it and they either agree with me or they disagree. If they disagree, then they look for experts who are saying the opposite. And if they agree with me, they're going to be confronted by experts who say the opposite. And you're left, if you're not an expert, and you buy this myth, which I say is a myth, not really having it resolved, because you can be rooting for one ping pong player or the other, but it just goes back and forth. And I started to get this conviction that that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to say, no, you non-experts, you already know the truth here. And there's a way that you know it. And that's why I start with and the subtitle mentions intuition, undeniable, how biology confirms our intuition that life is designed. And I started with that, not because an intuition proves something, but because we all have it. If we're honest, we have this.